I was thinking something. I was thinking, what would happen if the lockdown wasn't there? For example, if the lockdown wasn't there, I'd be in Delhi for sure, right? So I was thinking, what would happen with you if the lockdown wasn't there? Would anybody want to answer? Let me ask Shubham. Shubham, what would happen with you if the lockdown wasn't there? No, Shubham doesn't want to answer. Anybody? You can use your microphone or use the chat box to answer.
Continue going to office.
Who is speaking?
Kanshal.
Who is it? Who is speaking? Can you be a little louder?
Deepika.
Deepika. So, what did you say? What would happen?
I'd have continued going to office.
You
obviously, yeah. And probably attended a few weddings also, which got cancelled.
All right. Raj says, I would have been in the same monotonous life. Okay. Lovely says, I will be working from office instead of home. Okay. Currently, I would continue with my daily routine. Is there anybody whose life would be different if the lockdown wasn't there right now? You can use your raise hand. Barkha says we all would be going to office in other places, and Corona will spread badly in the country as well. Yeah, that's what I believe as well. You know, like if the lockdown wasn't there, people would be in different parts of the country, and people would start traveling. You know, that would be. Guys, you're not muted. Mute yourself if you're not speaking because we can hear you. Okay. And also, I think if Modi lifted the lockdown on 4th May, which I think is the announcement, but still seeing. But if he lifted the lockdown on 4th May, then I think the country wouldn't survive, and many countries were suffering who do not have a lockdown. So this is what I think would happen. Right. What I want you to do now is just focus on the first sentence that I just used. You know, this is the first sentence that I used. If the lockdown wasn't there now, I'd be in Delhi. Right? Can you see the text clearly?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
Or is it inverted? Is the text clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Okay. So if the lockdown wasn't there now, I'd be in Delhi. That is a sentence. Now tell me, what time am I talking about? What time am I talking about? Is it about the present? Or is it about the past? Or is it about the future? Which time are we talking about?
Present.
Present.
Okay, many of you saying present.
Future.
Some of you are saying past, some of you are saying future. But see, guys, it's right here. See, here. What time is written here? Now. So it has to be present, guys. So the correct answer here is present. Okay. Let's look at another sentence that I just used. So what time?
I'm sure I have a request. Can you ask everyone to be in mute or something? Because once you know that automatically the screen catches someone else's screen if they talk, and it's very difficult.
Okay, thanks a lot for picking that up. I'm just going to mute it. Yes, I think the problem won't be there now. So now, I'm going to use another sentence, okay? The second one that I used. So if the lockdown wasn't there now, people could start traveling. Again, you can see that the time used here is present, right? Let me ask you another question here. What situation is it? Is it a real situation or is it an imaginary situation?
It's imaginary situation.
Is it imaginary or real?
Imaginary.
It's
Some of you say
imaginary.
That's absolutely correct. It is imaginary. It is not real. Because see, right now, the lockdown is there, right? It has not been lifted. So it is imaginary. It's not real at all.
But some
So,
days it could be real.
Someday it could be, but in this particular sentence, it is imaginary, right? And let's look at the third sentence that I used. I said if Modi lifted the lockdown on 4 May, the country wouldn't survive, right? Again, the situation here is
Present.
real or imaginary?
Okay, imaginary.
Imaginary.
Yeah, absolutely correct. So it is imaginary again, right? So you can see that I'm using sentences which are talking about the present moment, right? And here, if you see, the time here is not present. What time has been used now? Is it present? We're talking about 4th May. So what time is it?
It's future.
So we're talking about future
Future.
time.
Future.
It is future, right?
Future.
It's not present anymore. But we use a very similar structure, right? So let's look at the structure of these sentences. So if you look at all these 3 sentences, let me remove these. Let's look at all the 3 sentences together. Right, 3 sentences, and let's understand how many parts are there in these sentences. How many parts? 2 parts, right? What are the 2 parts? You can see that there's a comma in every sentence. There's one sentence. Someone has still again unmuted their camera. Let me go mute. Yeah, now no one. Now you'll not get other people coming past the camera. Right. So we're looking at 2 parts here, right? The first part takes if, right? You can see if. You can see it here. If Modi lifted, then if the lockdown wasn't there, if the lockdown wasn't there, right? So that was the first part. And what is the second part? Second part is the part which comes after the comma, right? So that is the result here. So if the lockdown wasn't there now, people could start traveling. That is the result of something that is an unreal situation that happens either in the present or in the future, right? And then the result is written after that, right? So this is the result here. Again, in the previous sentence, if the lockdown wasn't there now, I'd be in Delhi. So I'd be in Delhi is the result part. See, I'd be in Delhi. That's the result. Again, if Modi lifted the lockdown on 4th May, the country wouldn't survive. The country wouldn't survive is the result here, right? So two parts to these sentences. Okay, so now let's focus on the pronunciation of these things a bit. Let me switch these things off. Right, the first sentence. Now focus on me. Focus on my lips as I pronounce, okay? Because the sounds are very important. So let me zoom in onto my face so that you can really copy the way I'm pronouncing it. Okay. All right. So see the first sentence. In the first sentence, I said if the lockdown wasn't there now, I'd be in Delhi. So if the lockdown wasn't, so was and not became together, and we use wasn't. See, when we use spoken English, we do not use full expanded versions. We use contractions like wasn't, right? And in the result, we used I'd be in Delhi. I'm not saying I would be in Delhi. I'm saying I'd be in Delhi, right? So if the lockdown wasn't there now, I'd be in Delhi. And also mark the stresses. If the lockdown, if and the is not stressed, if the lockdown wasn't there now, right? Wasn't is stressed, I'd be in Delhi. Again, be, I and would combined became I'd, then be is stressed. I'd be in Delhi. Delhi is stressed after that, right? So if the lockdown wasn't there now, I'd be in Delhi. And that is what you need to practice. Okay, keep yourself muted and you can repeat after me to practice the stress and the pronunciation, right? If the lockdown wasn't there now, I'd be in Delhi. Now, the second one, if the lockdown wasn't there now, people could start traveling. People could start traveling. So again, lockdown wasn't as stressed. People is stressed because that's a subject. Start, the main verb, start, and then traveling. Start being a main verb always takes more stress, okay? Start and traveling is a noun, so that will also be stressed. So this is how it will sound. If the lockdown wasn't there now, people could start traveling, right? You can repeat that and practice the sound of it. And then the third sentence is, if Modi lifted the lockdown on 4th May, just a second, let me quit this. If Modi lifted the lockdown on 4th May, now see, if Modi lifted stressed, the lockdown is stressed, 4th May, all of these things are stressed, the country wouldn't survive, all these things are stressed, right? So very less number of words are actually stressed. So if Modi lifted the lockdown on 4th May, the country wouldn't survive. You can repeat it yourself. Great. Now we have looked at the meaning and we have looked at the pronunciation. Now what we're going to do is look at and analyze the structure, the form of how these work. Someone has unmuted themselves. Let me unmute them again. Yes. Okay. Let me share my screen and show you. Yeah. Use the chat box to tell me, can you see the sentences clearly or is it blurry?
It's a bit blurry, but I can read it.
You can read it, right? It's clear. Raj, Sharmili, many people are saying it's clear. Great. So let's look at the first sentence and quickly let me show you the stress patterns again so that you can visualize it properly. So the first stress, lockdown is stressed. You can use your microphone to tell me also, right? The next word which is stressed is now.
Delhi.
Very good. Delhi would be stressed. Brilliant. Right? Next, in the second sentence, If the
Lockdown.
lockdown wasn't, every time there's a negation, yeah, there's stress. Correct. Wasn't should be stress. Wasn't there now should be stress.
Answer people
Brilliant. People
and start.
and traveling. All of these things are stress. Next, if Modi lifted.
Lifted.
Modi.
Yes.
Modi lifted.
May. Then
Lockdown. Country. 4th May. Survive.
Yes. So all these things. Now, I want you to analyze the structure here. So I told you there are two parts already, right? So there are two parts. So there's part 1 and there's part 2, right? In the first part, you see first there is if, always in all of them there's if, and then comes the subject. Use yellow, and then comes after if comes the subject. This is the subject, right? And then comes the verb. So this is what? This is was plus not, right? So verb. Can someone tell me what form is it? Is it first form, second form, or third form? So verbs have three forms, right? The first form is present tense form, like was will be is. Second form is was.
Second form.
And
Third form. Third form.
Future tense was 3rd form.
the third form is not the future.
Past tense.
Past part.
Past particles. Third form.
Yes, and that is been. Right? The third form is been, right? Is, was, and been. So 3 forms. See, so the second form has been used here. Second form. We also say it V2. Let me write it again. V2, right? And then the rest of the if clause. And let's look at the second part. That is the result part, right? So this is the if part, and this is the result part, as we already saw. And I'd be in Delhi, right? So again, you get the subject, I. Now what is happening here is, I is the subject, and then I'd is actually I would. So you will always get would in the result part, right? Plus rest of the sentence. And in the rest of the sentence, there's also the main verb be, which is in the first form, V1. Right? So as I wrote V2 here, I'm writing V1 here. It's first form. You cannot write was. As I saw in the chat, and some of you were also saying it, when you're saying it, you were using I have been. No have here. See? I would have been. Someone said I would have been working if the lockdown wasn't there. Someone said I will be working, right? But the correct word to use here is would, or you can sometimes use could, as you can see here, right? And let me show you the same structure has been used here. If plus the subject, the lockdown is the subject, plus wasn't, was not is the verb in second form, V2, plus rest of the part. And then in the result part, you have subject plus could. Now I told you, you can also use could or would, both are allowed. Could shows the possibility, right? So let me write it. Could is used for possibility. And then comes V1. See, start. It's not will start, it's not started. It will be always first form. And then the rest of the sentence. And similarly, in the third one, if plus subject is Modi here, plus V2 in the third form, in the second form, then the rest of the first part, which is the if part. This is the if part, and this is the result part. Result. In the result part, the country here is the subject. Plus would or wouldn't, both are correct. Would or wouldn't. Anything that you want to is would not or wouldn't. Plus, so this is the main verb, and see which form it is. Is it the first or the second or the third form?
First form.
Yeah, correct. All of them. See, consistently, you can see. Always in the result clause, you get the V1, V1, V1. And in if, just a second, and the if clause, you consistently get V2, V2, V2. The verb has to be in the second form. Yes, someone was asking something.
Sir, I could not understand this first, second, and third verb.
Would someone want to explain this to her? If someone knows the three forms, what are the three forms of verbs? Anyone can unmute yourself and try.
Even referred.
Who is it? First, say your name, who it is.
My name is Savi.
Say it again. The bus in your background ruined your name. What is it?
Savi. My name is Savi.
What is your name? I still couldn't get your name.
Savi. Savi.
Savi. Okay. Yeah, Savi. Tell us.
So, first one, V1 refers present tense, V2 refers past tense, and V3 refers past participle.
Well, yeah, that's a very good try, and I think I also agree with that.
Sir, I just wanted to say something.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Someone wanted to say something? Please tell me. I think their internet is gone. Anyways, you can use the chat option if you come back. Your internet comes back later, right? So I'm going to just reiterate what Suvi. I think Suvi was her name. I don't remember. But anyways, I hope it was Suvi. She correctly said the first form is used in the present simple, not present perfect, but present simple. V2 is the past simple, like did, I walked, I dumped. Right? The second, like I do, did, done. And the third form is the past participle, which is used in passive sentences, like he was hanged, he was hung, right? Hung. The third form is the past participle. So these are the three forms: V1, V2, and V3. Right? So, which is very important to understand here, right? So,
Sir?
Yeah, who is it?
I'm Koel.
Yes, Koel, go ahead.
I just want to know that the first portion before the comma, whether it is it showing the condition?
Condition?
That part, that imaginary part, is it? Can we say that it is?
Thank you very much for saying it. It is the imaginary.
One more thing.
Yes.
One more thing, and that portion, the part before using that wouldn't, that could, that portion, and after that the verb that we are placing there, that is the present form of the verb. Is it because of the modal auxiliary?
It is. Yes, it is because of the modal, and it is also the structure, which is what I'm going to tell you now. Okay. See the structure, very well asked, very good, intelligent questions. Now, as Koel was saying, I hope, was it Koel? I'm bad with names, guys. I think it was Koel who just said that the first one, is it a condition? So, you know the structure that you are just talking about, in which first there's a condition and then there's a modal. There's a name to this structure. You know, the structure has a name. Why? Because this structure has very clear meaning. At anything, any situation which has an imaginary element, an imaginary situation, and the result of that imaginary situation. So this is the meaning that someone wants to have. Like if the lockdown wasn't there now, and we're talking about the present or the future, like Modi lifted the lockdown 4th May is future, right? So the present or the future imaginary situation, if this is the condition, then the result would be something. And that is the result. So there are two parts: if part, which is the condition, and the result part. And the name of this structure, guys, is, can someone tell me what is the name of this structure? It's called the second conditional.
Second conditional. Sir, one more question.
Just a second. It's called the second conditional. Yes, question.
Can you say, sir?
Yes, please, go ahead.
One more question. If we want to frame any sentence in case of any subjunctive mode, can we frame this type of question, this type of sentences?
Can you give an example? Who is speaking? Can I know?
I'm Koel.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was the question. That in case of subjunctive mode, any imaginary situation, that if I were a bird, I would that of a sentence that if I were a bird, that is an imaginary situation, then I would like to fly in the sky.
Right. So you just use a second conditional. You gave a perfect example of using a second conditional. If I were a bird, see the second form, if I were a bird, and you used would as the result, I would fly away. So good, yeah, that's exactly how you use it. Now let's move on from here. Okay? So what we are going to do now is we're going to look at an example, and we'll try to practice using this and understand this better. Okay? So I'm going to send this to you on the WhatsApp group and also post it on Facebook page, right? But still, you can take a screenshot of this because these are the rules that you need to practice. Okay. Take a screenshot of this, and then let's look at an example. So here's a sentence that we have now. What you need to do is you have to write second conditional sentences. So I have given you the verb. You have to put the correct modal, which is would or could or wouldn't and couldn't, and also use the correct tenses like V1, V2, correct forms of the verbs, right? So can someone tell me what should be the correct answer to this? I not live with my roommate if I not have to.
Can I ask something?
Is it Shivansh?
Yeah.
Yes, Shivansh.
How we use second form in the first sentence?
A very good question. Now, I wanted someone to ask this. Now, let me take you back to the previous slide. Now, here, I've used the if clause in the first place all the time. Please,
because there is no form and we use second form.
Yeah. I'm just clarifying. Just mute yourself, everyone. Now, as we saw here, that we are using if clauses everywhere in the first place. If here. Now, it's not necessary that you always use the if clause first. Sometimes you can use the result clause first and then the if clause. If by clause I mean part. Okay. The result can come before, and after that if can come. But if you do that, there would be no comma. When you write the sentences, you should not use a comma, right? That is the only difference here. And that's the example that I gave you in this sentence here, which Ivan very nicely asked why is the case. So if you wrote the correct answer, a second conditional answer to this one, it would be I. Can someone help after this? I
wouldn't live.
Very good. I wouldn't live. Which is true for many people who are living in hostels, I know. Hostels or sharing their apartments. We did the vocabulary session in which we talked about sharing a house, right? So it's difficult to share a house with everybody. So this was true for me when I was in college. I wouldn't live with my roommate. This is an imaginary situation. If can someone help me to finish this? What is the second form that can be used here? Because after if you have to use V2. Right?
If lockdown has
No,
lifted.
No, Shivansh, you have to use the same one which is given here. So if I didn't have to, so you have to use did. So this is what you have to write. I wouldn't live with my roommate if I didn't have to. So see, would live is V1. This is V1 again. If I didn't is V2 here, right? And would has been used in the result clause. This is the result clause. And this is the if clause here. As I told you, if can come second also, but there will be no comma. Great. So I'm going to give you 7 such sentences. Okay, on the WhatsApp group, I'm going to give that to you. And I'll also share it here, but sometimes it's hazy. It's very clear on the WhatsApp, and I'm also going to post that on the Facebook page for you to revise and record later. Your voice is not clear. Say it again. Your voice wasn't clear. I couldn't hear. Can you use the chat, please?
I think her network is not working.
Yeah. Aanchal Agarwal, if I didn't have to, okay. Rajdeep has answered. Anyway, so whoever was saying something, please use your chat box. That would be better. So the questions, guys, the questions are on the WhatsApp group. Just let me post it quickly.
I didn't have to live with them.
I didn't have to is enough. You don't need to repeat it. Let me send it to... Check your WhatsApp, guys. I've just posted it, and I'm also going to share it on the screen. There are the questions. You can see it on the screen as well, and you can go to WhatsApp, whatever you want. You can use the chat box, guys, to give the answers, or you can use your own notebooks or whatever. But do not use the microphone now, because that would everyone else would be able to get the answers then. Let me know if you haven't got it yet. Yeah. You have got just a few more seconds. Rajdeep has given the first answer.
Anshu, can you post the rule of conditional sentences?
Okay, great. I'll do that. Some people have to do screenshots, so for them, I'm gonna just quickly. There you go. I've also posted the rules. Got 1 more minute, guys. Just like try your best to at least 4 out of them. 7. If not all of them. Nishu has given the first one. Can you give the first one?
Anshu, can we use present indefinite in the conditional?
Can you give an example? Present indefinite would be present perfect, right?
Can I give example?
Yeah, go ahead.
In your sentence, we would sell our camera if somebody offers us enough money.
If someone what?
If somebody offers us enough money.
Offers, see, you're using a first form after. Oh, you mean first form. By indefinite, you mean first form. Do not use first form because, see, it's an all of these are imaginary situations.
Okay.
If you use the first form, it becomes a real situation and the meaning is changed. Okay, so let's solve everything together. Share my iPad and let's. Can you see the screen clearly? I think it's hazy. Let me zoom in.
It's too small.
Is it better now?
Now it's too big.
Okay, so let's look at the first one. Aditi not have to commute. So Aditi, this one will become would. Wouldn't. If she or couldn't, both are correct. They have similar meaning. Could shows the possibility, would shows the consequence only, the result only, right? Aditi wouldn't have to commute every day if she worked from home, right? If they, so after if not have, if they didn't have such a noisy son, they would get. So wouldn't have to, remember, yeah? Have to is the first form, so you have to use it. They wouldn't get, they would get better with their neighbors. Then number 3 says, I wouldn't buy that bike.
I think couldn't is suitable for this sentence.
Both are fine. I couldn't buy that bike. I could not buy that bike if I
for you.
Yes, if I were you. It's too expensive. I wouldn't, not couldn't here. Couldn't here will be wrong, in fact, because this is a special case. It's an advice, right? In advices, you always use would and not could. Okay, remember that. Then let's move to the next one. We would sell our camera if somebody offered us enough money.
Live.
Just next, if my mother-in-law lived, thus we would get.
Would get divulged.
Yeah, I
divorced.
knew someone would answer. And I'm sure this is true for many of you. You don't have to confess it now. If my mother-in-law lived with us, we would get divorced. Yeah. If my sister, see, after if you have to use past tense, so
My sisters.
tidied her room often, it would
Would not be.
not
Tidied.
be such a mess. It wouldn't.
It's
be such a
tidied.
mess. Tidied, yes, means cleaned up.
Yeah.
You not treat me. You
You wouldn't treat me like this.
You wouldn't treat me like this if you really loved me. Now see, all these things, guys, we're talking about the present, okay, present or the future. Although it takes past form like V2, but we are not talking about the past. That is the thing that we have to understand really nicely. Okay,
We
how
all
many
love
of
you.
you are you saying you love me, Shivansh? I love you too.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let's quickly tell me Rahul has raised his hand. Rahul, do you want to say something?
No, sir.
Your voice is breaking, Rahul.
No, sir. I could
Okay.
not say anything.
Okay, Rahul, fine, great. Now, I hope the meaning is clear, but just practicing meaning and practicing a form like this will not make it fluent. So we're going to play a game now, okay, to really try to bring this knowledge, meaning, and pronunciation into practice.
Right now.
Right. So for that, yes, right now. So for that, let me show you how to play this game. So we'll make a chain, and we're going to practice. So the first person number 1, is going to say one conditional sentence. For example, if I was rich, or if I were rich, let's make it was were. Both are correct. It was were. If I were rich, I'd travel more.
I would live in the Bangalore.
Right. So this is what the first person says. Right. Now mark that this is the result clause. Right. For the second person, this becomes their if clause. So it would be if I would travel more will become if I traveled more.
Traveled.
If I traveled more, then they have to give this is the second person, different person. And then they have to say, if I traveled more, I'd be happier. Right? Then the third person, can you understand the game? So all the result clause should become the next person's if clause, right? So this is the if clause. So their result clause becomes the next person's if clause. So can someone tell me what should be the first if clause for the third person? I'm going to ask one person. Just a second. Let me. Can Anjali? No, it's not Anjali. Why is it called Anjali? I forgot the name. Can you unmute yourself? Anjali Jolly, the person who is called Anjali Jolly, but it's not your name. Pallavi, right? I remember now. Pallavi, can you say what's the first part of this next?
I would be happier if I get a chance to travel abroad.
Good try. It's good. Pallavi, see, this result clause should become your if clause. So if start with if always. If I were happier, see, start like this.
If I were happier, I would distribute few clothes to poor people.
So you're saying distribute clothes to the poor, right? That's a brilliant answer. Now the fourth person is going to say what? Let me nominate one of you. Can Sina is here. So Sina, try to unmute yourself and tell us what should be the first part of this. If. Start with if. Sina, can you hear us? I think Sina has not joined the audio. Sina, you have to join the audio. Let me ask someone else. How about Sunil? Sunil, I'm asking you to unmute yourself. Can you tell us what should be the first part here? Sunil either can't hear us or is too shy or technology. Anyway, so
If I distributed the clothes to the poor,
okay,
they
guys,
would bless me.
Let me mute everybody. Somebody is unmuted and there's a lot of noise.
Yeah, may I speak?
Just a second. Let me mute everyone first. Yes, now it's quiet. Who is speaking? Is it Shivansh again?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I distribute clothes to the poor, they would be blessed me.
They would bless me. So you have to use the verb tenses properly, Shivansh. If I distributed would be correct. If I distributed clothes.
Yeah. If I distributed clothes to the poor,
then
they would bless me. They would be blessed me.
No, why they would be? There should be no. They would. They'd bless me.
Bless me.
Yes, they would bless you. Right? Let us continue this game. I'm not going to write now. Yeah. So let me ask Anchal. Anchal, could you answer? Anchal Agarwal.
Yes, sir. If I had a dog,
no,
I would become the lucky.
Anchal, that's a good sentence, but don't change it. Understand this. The result clause is becoming the if clause for the next person. So the result clause is this. You have to make that the if clause and then continue.
Sorry, sir?
Anchal, this is the result clause, yes. Right? They would bless me.
I said if I had a dog. So that had I thought.
I don't think you're getting it. You have to start like this, Anchal. You have to start like if. You cannot break this chain. We are making a chain. What you are doing is you're giving a new sentence. Don't give a new sentence. Continue the same chain. If they blessed me, see? If they blessed me, so the result clause becomes the if clause. That is the game we are playing. If they blessed, what would happen?
Can I say Anshu? I'm Hello.
Just a second. Let Anshul try once more, and then I'll move on. Anshul, can you finish the sentence? If they blessed me.
Yes. I would distribute. Sorry.
See, distribution of clothes is done already. Why would you bring that again? I don't think you're doing it. We're making a chain, Anshul. I think you should observe.
A chain?
No, you shouldn't. You've spoken enough. Suja, I think Suja was trying to answer. Can Suja try again? Okay, Suja is not there. Anyone else who has not spoken so far? Who is it?
Sunil.
Is it Sunil? Yeah, Sunil.
Yeah, if they blessed me, I would be rich.
So can I say?
Yes, please. Who is it? Is it
Shreya?
Yeah.
If they blessed me, I would be very happy.
See, happy is already done. See,
I would have to motivate.
The new.
If they bless me, I would be.
I would be fulfilling all
successful.
my dreams.
Okay, I'd be successful.
If they blessed me, I would be motivated.
Sir, I would be fulfilling all my dreams.
Okay, that's a good one. But the one that I've selected is
motivate.
Is I'd be successful. Okay, let's continue. The next person is Tanya. Tanya, would you want to answer? You have to use if I were successful. Then continue, Tanya.
She answered only on WhatsApp.
She's answering on WhatsApp. Can someone read that out for me? No? Anybody can answer. If I were successful, continue it.
If I would be successful, I would achieve something more, something great.
Is it Nitish who just said? Nitish?
Yes, Nitish.
Yes, Nitish. But what you're doing is you're using would with if. You should never use would with if, right? So you have to make if I were successful, not would be successful.
Okay.
Would should come in the second clause. If I were successful, I would. Say it again.
If I were successful, I would.
Can I try?
I would tell my experience also.
Guys, please let him speak. He didn't finish and you are saying. Nitish, can you repeat that again? Nitish, can you repeat that again? Repeat that.
If I were successful,
Yeah.
I would achieve something great.
That is very good. Well said. He said, I would achieve something great. Can you convert that into the first clause? Anybody? I would achieve something great.
If I were successful, I would
No,
make my family more happy.
Deva brother, what you're doing is you're taking the previous one. You have to take the current one. He said, I would achieve a lot. I would achieve a lot. So you have to make if I achieved a lot and then continue it. I don't think you understood the game here. Can someone else try? Abhishek, would you want to try? Abhishek Thakur?
Can I say?
Who is it?
The Shreya.
Shreya, you've tried before, so let's give someone else a try. Abhishek, would you want to try?
Sir, may I?
No, Abhishek. Go ahead.
If I achieved a lot,
Yeah.
I would be ending up saving a lot more money.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Good job, Abhishek. Great. He said I would end up, right? I would end up saving a lot of money. So, can someone convert that into the if clause? Anybody? Goel, go ahead. He said his result clause was I would end up saving money. So it would be if
I would.
Goel? Anybody else?
She's chatting.
She's trying to type. Anyways, anyone else would want to try? Shushmita, would you want to try?
If I ended up saving more money, I would buy many albums.
I don't invest them.
Shivansh, I'm going to mute Shivansh right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Shushmita, that was a brilliant sentence. Can you repeat the second part of it? I would
Buy more albums.
I'd buy more albums, like music albums.
Yeah.
I'm sure with your singing skills, many people would want to buy your singing albums.
Oh my god.
So if you don't know, you can check out her Facebook page. She keeps posting amazing music.
Thank you.
So yeah, what she said was, I would buy more albums. Can someone convert that into the if clause? If someone raised his hand, Shubham, would you want to try? Shubham Rakshan. Shubham, you raised your hand. Can you unmute yourself and answer? The rest of you, can you mute yourself? I'm going to ask one final question. Nishu, just try. Her second clause was, result clause was, I would buy more albums. I would buy many albums. So how would you use by saying if?
If I bought more albums, it makes maybe if I bought more albums, maybe one day I will be a singer.
So you said I will be. Rest of the sentence is correct. You have to make it would. I would be.
Yeah, I would be. Sorry, I would be.
Say the sentence again.
If I bought more albums, I would be singer. One day I would be a singer.
That's absolutely correct. Okay, great. So I could not give a chance to everybody because there are a lot of us here. So you can just play this game, keep writing one after the other to practice this, okay? So the main, let me stop sharing. Yeah, so the main use of this expression, this structure, grammatical structure, is to talk about things which are not real, which you want to talk about because you would take that as a condition and the result of that condition, that unreal, imaginary condition. Of course, it is a lot of rules. You can see the rules is like a lot of stuff to do. But remember, when you speak fluently, you don't think of rules. You just speak mostly unconsciously. Your conscious of is the idea, but when you convert the idea into language, whatever skill you already have comes into play. So you have to really drill it down to your subconscious mind. That's the level of practice you need. So usually do not focus. I don't like focusing a lot on grammar because that takes away the fluency, because you might just keep thinking, oh, did I use the right structure? Did I make a mistake? If you keep thinking about grammar. So this is my suggestion. Practice grammar sometimes, but mostly focus on fluency. I fluently say it and sometimes check if you are saying it correctly. Is there any doubt or any comment that you'd want to ask before I close this session? Anybody? No questions, no doubts. Okay, so I hope you use Shubhansh is again unmuted. So I hope you use this structure nicely and you found the session more useful than sleeping or grudging.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay. So anyways, I'm going to close it now, and anybody who would want to join us again tomorrow can come in. We're going to focus a lot.
Sorry, sir, to interrupt. I have written something in the chat box. Is it the correct sentence or not?
Is it Shreya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the interruption reminded me it has to be Shreya. Yes. Okay, Shreya, I'll check it, but let me conclude it. People that can go and then I can just look at it. Just join us again at 3. We're going to have a 1-hour session again tomorrow. And then after that, I will think how I can carry forward this whole thing of giving free lessons, because it's really helping everybody. It's a win-win situation for you as well as me. I can use my time productively and learn to teach. You're learning English. I'm learning how to teach. So that helps like both the parties. And that's the motivation of me behind doing this, because, well, I've got a lot of free time at home. So thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes, now let me look at what Shreya. If I bought more album, I would have showcased it. Now, Shreya, there are 2 problems here. The first problem is have. You shouldn't use have after would. You should use the first form. So it should be, if I bought more albums, I would showcase it. I would showcase it, not have. This comes third conditional. So it would be, if I had bought more albums, I would have showcased it, and that's a very different structure. It's talking about an imaginary past. Okay.
And sir, one more thing, if I would end up saving money, I would buy more music. So into the sentences, in the result as well as in framing the sentences, would can be used twice, right, sir?
You have to look at the rules properly, Shreya. You missed the point completely. I focused again and again. Listen. I focused again and again. The would comes only in the result part. there is no would in the if part. If you check all the sentences, none of the if sentences take would.
Sir,
If you
but
use
we
would
have
to if,
discussed, and one person have said this would twice. That's why I'm asking to you. I know that it is only used one,
yes.
either in starting or in the end. That I know. But when we're discussing, one person has said this sentence would have used.
Yeah, but I'm not responding to everybody. I just showed the correct answer. So if you check the correct answer, you get it. Yeah. Vipin is here. He has raised his hand. VIP the singer. Are you saying something, Vipin?
Hi sir, how are you?
I'm good. You've raised your hand. You're saying something.
Yeah, but my query is cleared.
Perfect. Great.
And
Shubham
thanks
has
for
also
remembering
raised.
me.
Yes. Shubham has also raised his hand. Shubham, do you want to ask something? I think he's raised it by me. Okay, that's all, guys. Thanks a lot and have a good time. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.